Hello Blizzard fans, this is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Toxic and VampyWorm on Echo, the latter edition. This is a Legacy of the Void replay, as evidenced by the fact that it says Void at the top. And without further ado, we're going to introduce the players. Oh, a good look, have fun. A good look, have fun from Toxic and VampyWorm. It's always nice to see good manners. In the bottom of Echo, the latter edition, we have the red Zerg player. It is Toxic. And in the top left of Echo, the latter edition, we have the blue Protoss player from Team Ascension. It is VampyWorm. Alright, as always, we speed up the game just a little bit. The early game can be kind of boring, although it's a little more exciting in Legacy of the Void with the introduction of the more workers at the beginning. The greater worker count is really nice. So it looks like, did we go gas expansion spawning pool here? We certainly did. An interesting build from Toxic against Protoss, especially because the Protoss player doesn't have to scout at all. He knows exactly where the Zerg player is. And where looks like the drone actually trapped the probe against the corner and did manage to kill it. So good pick up there. Little probe, be happy. There's the spawning pool. We're getting speed immediately. The hatchery about to finish as well. I like this build. I guess it is susceptible to cannons, as any hatch first builds are against Protoss, but ooh, canceling there. That's not great. What did he cancel? I don't know. Either way, here we go. It is the Adept opening. Just like we like to see from Walnut, most players are going the double gateway after, gateway, cybercore, gateway, with 2 workers in gas on both of the Vespene geysers for the Adept production. So here comes one Adept, actually a probe across the map. Adept now moving across the map. What's the answer going to be? It's going to be Queens. Queens do well against Adepts because they are armored. They don't take as much damage from those guys, but we'd probably need some more Lings or maybe a Spine Crawler to deal with this. 4 slow Lings probably aren't enough. Are we scouting? Yeah, the Overlord sees the probe there, but is not going to spot, I don't think it's going to spot the Adept. Here comes the Adept, 3 Adepts, and a Mothership Core on the way. Speed just about to finish. Roaches coming up as well. Adepts kind of waiting for their buddies, giving some time for the Zerg player to react. Inject. Inject. Toxic, you could do it. And do we catch the probe? We do catch the probe. Are we going to get the pylon is the question. Yes. Forcing the cancel on the pylon. Well played there. 4 Lings. Did more than I thought you would. Inject, Toxic. Do it. Come on, inject. You're not injecting at all, are you? Alright, that's going to hurt your production later on for sure. Again, you have an army sitting outside your base. Your Roach Warren is about to finish, though. Roaches would probably do pretty well in this scenario because they are not light. They don't take that extra damage from the Adept. They do well against Lings and drones and things like that, which makes them ideal early harassing units for the Protoss player. There we go. Spreading creep, injecting, doing all the things that you need to do. Probably should take a 3rd as well, considering the Protoss player, Vampy, is working on his 3rd base. Meanwhile, back here, what are we doing? Just adding more gateway. Oh, actually a forge and a gateway. Here we go. Trying to get a good surround with these Lings, and they managed to do so. Are we going to see a recall is the question. Taking down 1 Adept, another Adept dies as well. 3rd Adept going to go down. Vampy, you might want to recall. You're going to lose all of your Adepts, and they are not exactly cheap. Okay. The Lings get in good micro, taking down that probe, and as well, probably going to be able to take down this forward pylon. Yeah, the Mothership Core doesn't even want to try to save it. Going to head on home, but actually warping in a couple Stalkers to try to deal with, as I don't know if that was the right choice. The pylon does actually go down, but the Stalkers came in beforehand, so no big deal. And the Stalkers are going to try to do some damage, but there are a lot of Roaches here. How many Roaches are there now on the field? 7 on the field, 1 more in production, making it 8. Pretty good creep spread from Toxic, not fantastic. Again, probably take a 3rd. Feel safe right here. You killed a whole ton of Adepts. How many Adepts were lost there? 5 Adepts. How expensive are those guys? Again, Adepts are 125 gas, so dang, that's a lot of gas in the early game. That's tech that VampyWorm can't use. They didn't actually kill anything, but just a few Zerglings there. Here we go. Now taking the 3rd. Well played here by Toxic and upgrading to a lair as I go to look at it. So good timing for me observing right now. Taking down that cooling tower to provide a little bit of extra protection against the 3rd base. The Queen coming up as well. Going to wait for a while before that hatches. That hatch is complete. Kind of walling off here, getting sentries, feeling a little bit scared right now is VampyWorm. And what else is he going to go for? A robo facility. Where is that robo facility is the question. Oh, right at the front door. So I talked to a Protoss player who really doesn't like having tech structures at the front door, cyber cores, forges, things like that, because they're just so easy to snipe off. So this robo facility being right here makes it a little bit susceptible to these roach attacks that I think are going to come. But we'll have to see. Making Observer just to scout out the Zerg base and make sure he knows what's going on. Creep Tumors a little bit clumped together, but okay, now we're getting the spread across the map like we need to see. Popping up here even as well. Throwing down some more creep tumors. This queen has extra energy. Why not? Let's go ahead and do it. Meanwhile, back at the Protoss base, we are pretty much not doing much of anything. There's the robotics bay. What's the answer going to be from there? Are we just going to see Colossus? That is the easy answer, but it also could be a couple other things. Could see some warp prisms and things like that. Actually, we already have a warp prism, but oh, disruptors. That does require the robo bay, doesn't it? Could be a disruptor. Disruptor play against Zerg can be super scary. They do one-shot roaches, but Ravagers are here. Okay, so we're upgrading or morphing our roaches into Ravagers, at least a few of them. And they do actually have a basic attack plasma discharge that does 16 damage. And here's the corrosive bile that launches a missile at the target location, dealing 60 damage to all units in the area upon impact. So 60 is not a whole lot, but pretty good. The really important thing about that was the last part. Can destroy Protoss force fields. That is super huge. Prior to this point, Zerg players had no ability to deal with force fields at all until they got Ultralisks, which is kind of super late game for them. So it is good to see that that is a possibility for the Zerg player, and these sentries in their force field might not be enough to deal with this impending attack. Although no player is super interested in doing that right now. Spore Crawler pops up, Observer saw it happening a long time ago, and then escapes with its life. Is it a life? I mean, I guess Observers are technically robots, right? We look in here, it just kind of like blurp, blurp, blurp. It makes bloopy sounds if you're... let's see if I can click on him. Can you make any noises for me? No? No. Oh, well, either way, they sound like robots, I think. This creep spread is kind of insane. There are like a million creep tumors here. All up and down, going up ramps. Can you go now? Boo. Push. Push, creep tumor. Help your Zerg brethren. No? Fine. That is fine. So small roach Ravager aggression here. I don't know how successful this is going to be. He's had these units forever. You might as well attacked with them back then. But actually going to follow it up with some Hydralisks. Ooh, and a Lurker Den. Dun, 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 dun. Lurkers are super good. Oh, Disruptor already has one kill. Pretty good split, though. Disruptor comes in, tries to take down the Ravagers, and does. Finishes them off. That Disruptor has 5 kills. Huge Disruptor play, as usual, from Protoss. And these guys say, there's Disruptors. We're going to get the heck out of here. Hydralisks only have 80 hit points, and Disruptors do, what, 150 damage? Where's that thing? Photon Overcharge. No, that's the Mothership Core I'm looking at, derp. 145 splash damage. Holy cow. Toxic says, Imba units. Vampy says, nice control. So a little bit of bad manner to follow up the good manner that we saw early in this game. Here comes the push. Stalkers. Single Disruptor. Not a huge army here at the 8-minute mark, but a 4th base is now going down for Toxic. He's feeling pretty darn comfortable. He has only 56 Harvesters, though. Toxic says, you can't dodge it. So please... A split is probably the answer here, though, Toxic. Don't you worry. Split against Disruptor hits is probably your best bet. It's hard to do, but if Marines can do it, no big deal. Even a Silver can manage Disruptors. Ooh, Toxic is mad, but I guess his name is Toxic, so it makes sense that his words would be toxic. Shrimp shot! Either way, inject Queens. Queens injecting aren't really that great at this point in time. I mean, how many larvae do we have? We have 4. Probably should have more than that. Are we injected here? No. Are we injected here? Yes, that's good. And pretty good up here as well because there's nothing actually to inject. The creep spread, again, is amazing. I mean, he has so many creep tumors. It's just more clumped than I think it should be. He should be actually using these at the edge of the creep instead of so close to the middle. Scouting Phoenix comes on in. A 4th base now coming down for Vampy. So 4 base to 4 base does favor the Protoss player. It gets sniped down. The Hydralisks take down the hallucinated Phoenix. Not a super deal, but he sees there are Hydras. Does he know that there are Lurkers is the question, because there is a Lurker Den. Are we actually going to make any is the question, though. Spire here, more Disruptors coming on down. Disruptors, all day Disruptors. That's what we like to see from Protoss. Blizzard thinking about messing with it, but according to the balance patch update that I posted yesterday, or not yesterday, this is going to be posted a while from now, earlier. Anyway, oh, Disruptor drop kills 14 drones. Holy smokes, 14 drones died there. I missed it entirely, but yeah, it was bad. It was bad for the Protoss. He's down, or the Zerg player, he's down to 59 workers at this point. So sad. War Prism's not even going to try again. He was super happy with that and going to head on home. There's the inject. Spire coming on up, making Spore Crawlers to hopefully defend against this. What is a single Ling got all the way into the main base of VampyWorm and is going to town on this gateway. He'll get it in like 5 or 6 minutes. Oh no, Zealot popped in to take care of him. It only has +1 armor upgrade, so not looking super fantastic is the Zerg player. Here comes the Death Ball, though, with 2 Disruptors, a bunch of Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries, as well as a Warp Prism, cleaning up all of this creep that was spread so nicely by Toxic. and he's forced to cancel his 5th base. Very, very scared about that. Has a lot of gas coming out, though. What is the answer going to be? He has a lot of minerals. All right, pushing on in are these guys. They ran away, though. Okay, we do have lurkers, actually, burrowed right here. Be careful. Trying to snipe down the Disruptor, not quite able to do so. Run for your life, everything. Oh, man, Disruptor ends up with a ton of kills. But again, there are lurkers here. Lurkers doing a lot of damage. Toxic super mad, however, at the Disruptor. Again, VampyWorm lets out the laugh. And the Disruptors aren't even enough to deal with this many Stalkers. And that's it. I think this is going to be it for Toxic. The push is coming across. There is nothing really in the production tab except for more Hydralisks, which again might not be enough. Toxic super mad again. Vampy saying that I'm out macroed you, which is true. He did have more of an army, and Disruptors getting more and more worker kills there. Not super... Oh, look at how mad everybody is in this game, man. Whew. The Hydras are coming in a bit by bit, getting sniped on down. And... Yep, Mutalisks flying a little bit too late. VampyWorm is victorious. Toxic loses the game, is defeated, and leaves. So again, more anger directed toward the Disruptor. Can't say I'm surprised. A lot of people are super mad about it. We'll have to see if anything does change in the long run. But either way, thank you so much for watching. This has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void broadcast. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm at /FalconPaladin at all 3 of those sites. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.